Welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your host Dan, aka smAsho, and we've got a coronal mass ejection unfolding as we make the video today. It's not really why we did the live stream, but it just happened to be once again, I guess, just pure luck. And so here we are looking at stereo A, and by the way, stereo A is out here at Lagrange point 5, viewing the sun on its coronagraph in this sort of a direction. Pardon my lag. And there you see that coronal mass ejection. I don't anticipate it to be Earth-facing, but we can't see it yet. It's a little bit too early to tell. And by the way, we do have the chat window open. If you've got any questions, comments, etc., we may read it live. So you can see not really a lot to be seen on the LASCO C2, which is at Lagrange point 1. Where my pointer is. Again, we don't really see that coronal mass ejection. We may be seeing it building up on the right side there. An indication it may miss the Earth to the west, which would be my best guess, because of the location of where the filaments are. Here's what we featured in the thumbnail. And it's an animation of the colorized magnetogram. The trailing sunspot, this one here, is a little stronger than the leading one. In fact, the leading one may have actually evaporated here toward the end. But that rear one is a decent sized sunspot there. Not huge, but there is some activity going on. So see if we can see where the coronal mass ejection originates from here on the 94 angstroms view. I don't think we will be able to. Let me go back to stereo A real quick and get an exact timing for that. I would say the real moment of ejection is probably around 8 o'clock Universal Time today on the 10th. So having just happened, it's very fortunate to shoot your videos late sometimes. What the heck? We got some old data here. Ah, we've got old data. That's what's going on. Haha. I thought something looked hinky. Give that a minute to load, folks. In fact, give me a minute to check the chat and the live stream. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for leaving comments. Zugas Shenanigans, Mary Wright, and Smash staff. Cheers! And the stream is looking good. Let's get back to the data, as it is now loaded. And we've got the ever-popular missing data. Check it out. All right, so the coronal mass ejection was right about here. I see a little bit of brightening up here in the northwest. That's all I see happening, and that's where I thought it originated from. In any case, let's look at some custom Helio viewer movies here. So best guess would be that that would miss the Earth to the northwest. It's not a very large coronal mass ejection. We may make another video later once we have a better trajectory on that one. Not a lot to see there on the LASCO C2 3C composite. And here's a close-up of the sunspots. As well as the South Solar Polar region. Always a classic. And you can see from 304 angstroms that this trailing sunspot is a little bit more active than the leading one, which by the end of the video may not even be a sunspot anymore. Who knows? Here's 171 angstroms. And pardon my failure to show the close-ups yesterday. We haven't made a lengthy all-sun video lately, so maybe we'll make a music video later today that features only solar images. And let me bring up your chat. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Cheers to Jim and everybody else who left comments, and everybody who viewed live or viewed Memorex. And we do have a nice Earth scale there also. It's like, right, yeah. The radio flux has gone up to 73, no surprise there as we see sunspots. For those new viewers out there not aware of what the radio flux is, the sun emits radio frequencies from its corona. And one of the really accurate measurements that we use is the 10.7 centimeter radio flux, which is a great proxy for sunspot number. There you can see back in 2017 where numbers were and so on, 2015. And you can see all the same peaks and valleys on both the sunspot number and the radio flux. Here's a measurement of global geomagnetism. It's the KP index, which is currently at 1. Let's hit refresh just in case. At 1 or 0 over the past 24 hours. And we haven't seen any X-ray flares, which we call solar flares. Don't get them confused with coronal mass ejections. They're different things. One is primarily made of photons. That's a solar flare. One's primarily made of photons. Did I say it backwards again? Solar flares are made of photons, and coronal mass ejections are primarily made of protons. There's the proton flux. And next we'll look at the real-time solar wind. Pardon the jerkiness of this. We just saw some shifts in the BTBZ, and those occurred right as the coronal mass ejection happened. Right there, that's when the coronal mass ejection occurred right there. It's at 800 universal time. 0800 universal time. And we see a very weak solar wind right now. Solar wind density only about 5 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed less than 300 kilometers a second, making for a weak magnetosphere. Here's 4 hours of data on that, and it's got very, very large plasmaspheres according to the space weather modeling framework. A lot of empty space out here. We've got a relatively normal electron flux. We'll get to it after the Smash Light segment, which today shall be integrated. We might separate it later, but I doubt it. Anyway, there's 4 hours of data on the magnetosphere. Here are the ground magnetic perturbations, which we show daily. And part of the reason that we do that is because this data is not accessible in archive form yet. Perhaps that will change. We're looking forward to it. And we show this since we're surviving a polar excursion. So far, congratulations on surviving a polar excursion. So far. And just allow me to check the stream here once again, and it is looking lively. And thanks everybody who's tuning in and leaving comments. Here's some data from the GOES magnetometer, I think. There you go. And it's looking pretty smooth here. We've been solidly in the South Pole current sheet. Don't be surprised to see a polarity crossing coming soon. And it's all got to do with those sunspots and the strength of the North Solar Polar Field. So don't be surprised to see the Earth's field force line in a green area instead of a red area coming up soon. And this is one of the most important forecasting tools, the top view ecliptic plane field plot, which uses 51 ground-based magnetometers as well as ones on stereo A and B, which are located here at Lagrange point 5 and Lagrange point 4. Next line of sight field plot. We don't see any big yanks in the B field yet, but keep in mind that sunspot is practically facing the Earth. So don't be surprised to see some distortions in the symmetrical nature of this on the western side in the next couple of days as a result of those active regions. Here's the coronal field plot. And we see some interesting activity going on there in the south polar region. I don't know if that's bad data. The south solar polar field shown to be connecting with coronal holes around the equator. And that could be a result of an imminent polarity boundary crossing, actually. And welcome to another edition of the Smash Lights, the segment where we talk about whatever we want. If anybody has a question or anything like that, ask it, and we'll probably feature it. Today we're going to talk about the website. And while we are growing our organization, look for major changes coming to the website. If you haven't checked it out, smAsho.org, smAsho.com. There are our social media sites. We've got affiliate links, merch shops, and a forum. And we've actually recently updated the forum massively. I put some updates in here just today. Supernovae, do they really destroy stars? An update on the earthquake studies, as well as an update on cycling enthusiasts. We'll get to it. If you enjoyed the music at the beginning, that track was called Conclusivity. You can check it out at soundclick.com. soundclick.com/GoldenCat Productions. That's soundclick.com/GoldenCat Productions. It's all original music. I do own the rights to all of it. You can download Conclusivity for 99 cents and add it to your MP3 collection. Let's talk COVID. I don't know what there is to say. Hey, COVID. Sorry that I wasn't scared of you back in January, but I'm still not scared of you now. I'm going to shine UV light on my face. Oh my God, look at now, I'm safe. Why? Because I have this wonderful UV wand. And now I know that COVID, sorry COVID, you can't get on my face. I've been protected. I've had my life saved by a UV wand, and thank God. Thank God for that. Oh, look at the sparkle in my eye. It's all because of this UV wand. So sorry, COVID. Still not scared. And by the way, folks, I owned hazmat suits, respirators, and all kinds of other actual PPE long before the scary pandemic. By the way, congratulations on surviving a global pandemic. So far, I'm wearing a mask, and it's on my shirt instead of on my face, because masks are COVIDiotic. Okay. I'm going to let the UV shine on my face because it's fun. All right, so does anybody have any questions about the COVID? Because I would be more than happy to show your questions. Let's put it there we go. How about that? Anybody got questions about COVID? Mary's more concerned about supercharged scarlet fever. By the way, tuberculosis remains the deadliest communicable disease. I don't know if you were aware, but it just happens to be the case. Thanks for leaving comments here at the Smash News Network. The least busted name in news. Because we ain't busted, period. All right, enough about COVID, since it's statistically irrelevant. Check us out on Twitch if you haven't. We usually stream live to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smAshomash. Can't understand why we would only have 52 followers there, but whatever. Today we're actually streaming live to YouTube for once. And the reason that we use Twitch is because the platform is wonderful. YouTube is also a platform. So check us out there. If you haven't pressed like and subscribe, well, the video cannot continue until you do. And now the place is on fire, okay? So please press like and subscribe, as the building is now burning and we cannot afford a fire extinguisher. So please, I mean, it's imperative that you press like and press subscribe, and that you press the share button, and that you share it on Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, Snapchat, Pornhub, or wherever else you find your videos. We will upload this one to BitChute, as it will become a non-YouTube exclusive. will download and upload and sideload and backload. We will backlog your soul in the river Styx if you don't press like and subscribe. It is October, and it is fundraising month here at smAsho.org. So again, press like and subscribe, otherwise we cannot continue video. Don't forget to check us out at bitshoot.com/smashamash. And welcome to another Cosmology segment where it gets dark, very dark, when you talk about the darkness, the darkest darkness of dark matter. Yes. Now, yesterday we talked about Deneb. Deneb is bright matter, and people can't seem to figure out how far away it is. Some people think it's 3,000 light years. Some people think it's 37,000 light years. In fact, here's one that thinks it's 1,500 light years. You're talking about orders of magnitude of problems measuring Deneb. Why? Because you're in Deneb's stellar sphere. That's why. It's getting protons most likely all the way to the atmosphere, probably through your head. As it was discovered in 1985, sort of inadvertently, where people couldn't figure out where the radiation was coming from, turned out that it was coming from the tail of the swan. Today's featured, and we talked about Deneb yesterday. Tail of the swan, right? Let's go back to the Cygnus constellation, to an object a lot farther away. This one's about 530 million light years away. It's Cygnus A. We like it so much that we decided to feature it on a shirt. It's the 3C405 shirt. And you can find all those links at smashamash.com, smashamash.org. Cygnus A is one of the most, also, just like Deneb is the most luminous object visible from the solar system, 3C405, otherwise known as Cygnus A, is the most powerful radio source in the sky, save for only the sun. In other words, only the sun is able to send a higher radio signal to Earth. Now, I'm not going to talk about the implications of this and how it relates to the Milky Way galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy's radio emissions versus, but we'll talk about it later. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you may not see this recipe. Yes, it's the recipe for the curry chicken, and I'm not going to read it for you because you got to go to the Instagram page to do that. Also, I've been laughing at South Mountain Memory Care Virtual Tour because I was totally going to stop by, but I couldn't remember where they were or what they do. Must just be a coincidence. By the way, we've got a featured cyclist that we've updated the forum, smashamash.com/forum. Today's featured cyclist is Bill Elliston, local favorite and inhabitant of many, many, many breakaways. Here he is, like really long ago, in 2014. He is a well-accomplished coach as well. Check out his website. It's ellistoncoaching.com. And again, we've updated the forum here as we have a cycling enthusiast section started by Nabo J. Cheers. And we've featured Bill. We're going to try to have an interview with Bill soon, as we've got a pro driving / riding tips playlist on YouTube. Now, we were going to feature Jugs, because here at the Smash News Network, we're very interested in Jugs. So we had to feature Jugs. And let me get to the comments here, as I see a bunch of comments have rolled in. Let's scroll down and allow those to be displayed. And give my voice a break. All right. And what else is happening? Yeah, Jugs. By the way, please subscribe to Keeb's Tunes, Mr. Keebler, on YouTube. If you subscribe to us, you'll see we just put up a post about it. As he was doing some X-ray bathing. Here's a clip.
That rhymes with orange.
I guess something rhymes with orange. I was not aware anything rhymes with orange, and as a published poet, I should know that. Head to smashamash.com/forum. Check out the Cosmology forum, perhaps. And perhaps check out the, what the heck? How about the free-for-all? How about the free-for-all forum? The free-for-all forum's got a October contest. Would you like to win a free shirt? Well, here ends another Smash Lights, and we've got nothing more to say to you if you're not a forum member. What, COVID? Aw, COVID. COVID signed up for forum. Thanks, COVID. Did you know that COVID smells like marshmallows? I guess COVID is embarrassed about COVID's smell. Let's talk electrons. Yeah, the electrons. That's how all that plasma hangs out there, folks. It's suspended by belts of electrons known as the Van Allen belts. Here are the relativistic electrons over the past year. Let me press refresh. It's the latest data, and we're in a normal mode of electrons now. We don't see charging hazards. The forecast is for levels to remain normal. There's the GOES electron flux 3-day chart. Here is the visualization of the air column. Some slight nighttime anomalies happening there. Nothing to write home about. Here is just the ionosphere layer. This is courtesy of Australian Government Bureau Meteorology. And the ionosphere is looking a little bit highly charged here on the nighttime side. Otherwise, pretty normal. Actually, some anomalous charge-ups happening there in the south around Antarctica. There's the current image at 10 o'clock Universal. And let me just check the life of the stream in the chat, see if anybody has any questions, as this is going very smoothly so far. Allow me to not throw a wrench in my own gears. All right, let's read some comments. Jim G says COVID is man-made, so it won't morph, but some natural stuff may supercharge. Mary says it started in Wuhan. Coincidence? Hi-ya! By the way, it's not racist to say hi-ya! Little known fact, I started taking Taekwondo in 4th grade. Yes, I started studying martial arts at the same time I started skateboarding. Don't get kicked by me. You'll regret it. Biblical times ahead, I think. Pretty wild stuff actually happened in our lifetime. We should feel privileged evil hates us so much as to show up now and start stuff. I don't think so. I just don't think the world's ending, folks. I just don't think the world's ending. I've got some insight into it. But in any case, let's get back to some data. Here's what's going on above my head. It's not even light out yet, and it's 6:16. Oh my God! It must be caused by the Earth's angle in reference to the sun as it revolves. Oh my God! Certain constellations have been visible all summer. Oh my God! Anyway, if you're up before dawn, you may see Venus, the 3rd brightest object. And I think we're going to do a Scrying with Smash episode today. I was going to do one actually before the video. So if I find a whole bunch of stuff to cover, you may see a Scrying with Smash where I consult the crystal ball here at the Smash News Network. By the way, have you pressed like and subscribe? Because I noticed that the Smash News Network has started on fire once again here. And by the way, the reason I wear these glasses is to make my face see-through so you can see more of the stuff that I'm showing you via screen sharing. That's why it's there. And let's see if I can put this thing out. Come. I can usually just blow it out, but it's not working. Have you pressed like and subscribe? Thank you. I don't know if I put it out or if your pressing of like and subscribe pressed it. I mean, what's that you shared on your social media as well? Here's where stuff is in the solar system. There's where things will be in a week on new moon. And by the way, October's a blue moon month with full moon falling on Halloween because it's 2020 and you gotta have it. Have you noticed that in the year 2020, the year of clarity, every COVIDiot has jumped up and down and said, look at how stupid I am. Look at how much of a government overreacher I am. Look at how little I know about infectious diseases I am. Like, it's insane. Look at me. I don't know anything about science. Look at me. I think carbon dioxide runs the climate. Looks like a lull in earthquakes over the past 24. Small deep quake in the Philippines at a 4.3 magnitude. Small deep quake in Alaska. There's an interesting one at New Zealand. A deep quake right in the middle of New Zealand there. North Island. Near the Poriora? Poriora? That's fantastic. Anyway, deep quake at a 4.3 magnitude happening in New Zealand. That's a new one. A very deep quake by Fiji at a 4.4 magnitude. Let's check earthquakes. Then, now that we've checked earthquakes, we'll check volcanoes. Is that a bunch of sulfur? Look at how yellow that is. It's the Halema Uma'u. It sounds like something George Lucas would make up. The Umagumagog. The Umagumagog School of Volcanism. On the planet Tattoo Your Spleen. Kilauea attracting the public's attention. Did you notice that some news articles over-exaggerate the scientific truth? Did you notice some YouTube channels over-exaggerate the scientific truth? Oh, man. Here at the Smash News Network, we try not to over-exaggerate the truth. We try to just be reasonable and not tell you outright lies. I don't know, it looks like it might be turning into a deadly crater lake, honestly. It's not a crater full of lava, but it's a crater full of sulfur. What is up with that? The crater lake's been growing. And we have heard viewers suggesting Kilauea will erupt again and not Mauna Loa. So although we've seen lots of very shallow quakes under Mauna Loa happening at thousands of meters above sea level, Kilauea still showing signs of activity, having created some new island. The last time it erupted was that was 2018, right? Kilauea erupted in epic fashion. All right, and let's get back to the rest of the volcanoes here. Popocatépetl exploding. 20,000-foot ash plume there. Sangay, 20,000-foot ash plume there as it also explodes. Revenador, similar fashion of explosions. Flight level 150, 15,000 feet there. And Sabancaya, flight level 240. Please don't pole vault the caldera. We got tornado warnings in southern Alabama. See that yellow? That's tornado watch. Yowzers. And there is a tornado warning there. Near Pensacola, it looks like. Dag. Remember, folks, the northwest corner is the dangerous part of the storm in the northern hemisphere. Unlike the southern hemisphere, where the southeast corner is the dangerous part of the storm. Shout out to our viewers from international locations such as Europe and Africa. There aren't your water vapor maps. Shout out to our Far Eastern viewers. who are around the international dateline zone, there are your water vapor maps. Here are the water vapor maps for the Americas, as we've got value-added features. And again, we don't always stream to YouTube, but when we do, it's not because of luck. It's not because of chaos. It's because of skill, talent, and training. Here are the jet streams of the east. Here are the jet streams of the west. Oh, there you go. That was for you, Brett. Here are pressure cells. We're going to skip forward to 1 p.m. tomorrow, my time. There's where we expect them to be. We've got a double anticyclone. A double anticyclone in the North Atlantic. Please leave a comment if you've got names of CNN anchors you'd like to name the double cyclones after. By the way, the reason that I tell you to go look at thunderstorms if they're like 50 to 100 kilometers away is because of red sprites. You can find all this stuff on spaceweather.com. Some amazing images here. Shout out to Frankie Lucena at Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico. Yes, check it out. And one thing to note here is you see these bright spots at the bottom of these jellyfish tendrils, as they're called? Those are spots where the atmosphere changes density. So you can actually see the layers of the atmosphere here. You can guess the density of those regions. That's why those areas are brightening. Those represent irregularities in atmospheric density. And these are like shells, so the atmosphere is less dense here than it is here. You know, as you look down, this is obviously more dense and less dense. Great views though, and that's why we show you lightning. And we say, hey, you've got a storm in this location, go outside and look in this direction. And one of the ways I facilitate that is at lightningmaps.org, yes. And here's the NASA GOES 16 lightning mapper. We don't really see any lightning there in Alabama, oddly enough. But quite a lot over the Caribbean again, on both sides of Cuba. Major Caribbean lightning, and in fact, that image was from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Peter Schiff. Please let us know if you watched the content, Peter Schiff. Yes, we are interested in interviewing you, Peter Schiff. Drop me a line, smashomash@gmail.com. Anyway, there's the U.S. Doppler radar map, and we've got heavy rains striking Oregon and Washington, as well as, obviously, the lower Mississippi Valley. And let's zoom in on the cloud region here. Even though it's not light out, we cast light on it anyway. Since that's the best way to destroy evil, is to cast light on it. Don't worry, folks. It's not satanic to be the light bearer. Anyway, there's that storm. I don't know if it's been downgraded to a tropical storm or not. Let's see what's going on in the water vapor to give folks an idea of where it's headed. And it's made a pretty sharp turn here to the northeast, it looks like, as we have some dry, massive air giving it a push from the southwest. And let's take a close-up of this area here for once. Here's the water vapor scenario for those westerly regions. And it looks like some dry, massive air once again is going to push this through. As you can see, some cold air being injected from the northern Pacific. And last but not least, the Mid-Atlantic region, where I talk in a stilted fashion, like I always do with the Smash News Network. By the way, if you have comments, questions, etc., make sure you leave a comment soon because the video is almost complete. By the way, make sure you press like and subscribe and share on your social media. Otherwise, I'll continue talking in a stilted fashion seemingly forever and act very silly and inane. We've got some warm temperatures going to strike Pennsylvania today. It's going to be a good day to pedal a bike. By the way, thanks to our patrons, the true source of funding for the content. Consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/smashamash for certain bonus features that don't appear on the social media and that don't appear anywhere. Please consider joining at the $3 or more per month level, as our $1 and $2 tiers will evaporate like a vanishing sunspot at the end of the year. By New Year's Eve, they'll be gone. So for all you folks that have a $1 and $2 subscription, consider upgrading, please. If you'd like to continue to see the content, check out, again, smashamash.org, smashamash.com. Check out our links. There's merch. And look for major changes coming in the merch store. Today's featured object from the affiliate link, and if you want to check it out, it's at smashamash.com/affiliate. You can link to it from the homepage. Is the purple-colored Team Color Go Wise USA whatever, GWW22651 3.7 quarts programmable air fryer. I didn't use one last night to make that curry chicken, which, by the way, has the recipe at instagram.com/smashamash. Get us to 500 Instagram followers. The point is, we will be having recipes featured pretty soon about the air fryer, as it is quite the piece of technology. It can replace a lot of your kitchen, folks. And it's only $65. Link to it at smashamash.com/affiliate. You can also get it in red or white or even black. If you're obsessed with Apple products, maybe get a white one. If you like to overpay for things. Hey, Smash Team. Don't forget to check out smashamash.org. And let's bring the Smash Team back up on the Smash screen. We'll scroll through the entire comments here real quick. So that everybody's comments are visible. Again, thanks everybody who tuned into the live stream and left comments, etc. Yes, Mars through the thin clouds. That's a good one. Mars and Venus very bright in the morning sky. If you're up before dawn, go check it out. If you've got a telescope, send us images. We'll feature it on the channel. Perhaps you could even put it on the forums at smashamash.com/forum. It's a good time. Anyway, thanks again, Smash Team. Consider picking up some merch, such as the Smasher Price My First Pandemic, which is the featured shirt, as again, I'm wearing it today. It's got the smashamash.org across the mask, and it's an homage to the pathetic and infantile response of mankind. Please leave a comment if you've noticed so many people jumping up and down and saying, "Look at me, I shouldn't have been elected. Look at me, I should be fired. Look at me, I'm totally incompetent and I know nothing about infectious diseases, but I want to tell you all about them." Anyway, there's the design. And thanks for flying American Smashways. I, your pilot, Dan, aka Smashamash, had to vanish back to his home plane of existence in order to remind you to please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times. We've got bonus features to show you, as we do most days. Today will be the 131 angstroms 48-hour SDO video, as well as the colorized magnetogram to show you the latest in sunspot activities. Here's the colorized magnetogram. Let me zoom out a little bit here. There you go. We may be down to only one sunspot group, this one, but it looks like it's beta class. A slight increase in the probability of solar flares. Yep, so we've got South Pole leading, North Pole trailing umbrae there. And there is some size to those. Here's an extreme close-up. And here's 48 hours of the local yellow dwarf. Don't worry, folks, I won't cover it up with my Smash News Network logo. There's 48 hours from the SDO and 131 angstroms. We are out. By the way, thanks again for tuning in. Please press like and subscribe, share on your social media, tell your friends, foes, science noobs, and science pros. Welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. May that solar wind be at your back and that covidiously absent from your locale.